Good afternoon and welcome. Glad you could join us today. So let's get going here. So today we're going to talk about useful free Mac apps on Go for Lunch for November 14th, 2023. Brought to you by GoFor Technology. I'm Roger Harmon, your host, and we're here to make your technology work for you. That looked delicious. My other choice was National Pickle Day, but I thought guacamole was more in tune with our southwestern cuisine. So get some guacamole today. So we're going to talk about useful free Mac apps. So the Mac is a powerful machine with a high-performing operating system, and there are many free apps available to make sure that you have an interesting and productive time on your Mac. Now, a little bit of a caveat here. Free apps are usually being developed by one developer as a side gig, you might say, and they can decide that they're not going to develop anymore. In fact, as I was preparing for this, I found some apps where the developer said, I'm no longer supporting this. One guy said, if you want to pick it up and support it, you're welcome to it. So they may stop being supported. So kind of check that out as you're looking at these apps. Now, all the ones we're looking at today seem to be well supported and they work well. The other thing I found is some of the apps that I found suggested by other people just did not work for me. So the ones we're talking about today, again, are tested and they seem to work just fine. So the first one we're going to talk about is hidden. It's hidden. So this works in your menu bar to hide items that you are not using frequently, and it gives your Mac a cleaner look. So we're going to switch over to the Finder so you can see my menu bar. And we're going to close this window, which seems to always want to pop up. And we're going to zoom in. And so this little, you might call it an arrow. I've heard it called a chevron. That is how you turn on hidden to unhide those things that you've hidden. So here are a bunch of different things. This is iStat menus. And we're going to talk about these other things a little later. So you can set the timing on how long this stays open up to 1 minute. So I've got it set at 1 minute. And if you want to move things into hidden, or out, in this case, we're going to hold down the command key and you just move it to the right of that bar. And now that is not hidden any longer. And if we want to hide it again, we move it to the left of that bar. And now it's hidden again. So that is hidden. Very simple, especially useful when you are on a MacBook where you don't have as much screen real estate. I've got a 28-inch monitor here, so I've got a wide monitor, and so far, everything is fitting in my menu bar. There's a paid app called Bartender, which does similar things. But again, it's not free. It's paid. So that is hidden. Next, we have Image Optim. And the way that works is it removes the metadata from your photos. So as you may know, metadata includes your GPS position. So let's say, for example, you're taking pictures inside your house of your holiday decorations and you want to post this on social media. You don't want to give away your address after somebody can see all the goodies inside your home. So you would want to remove that metadata so that you can publish these images without exposing your private information. And it's very simple the way it works. it is an app. You launch the app and you simply drag and drop your image file, your photo, into this area here, and it removes that metadata, so you don't have to worry about giving away your location when you don't want to. So while we're talking about getting rid of your metadata or your location, let's talk about how you would do that on your iOS devices. So when you're in the camera app and you're looking at a photo and you want to share it by using the share sheet, which is down here in the lower left-hand corner with the square and the up arrow. When you click on that, then you get this other window, and you have an options button here. And when you click on the options button, this screen appears, and then you can turn off include location by switching this little switch here so it's no longer green. And then you can share your picture when you hit done, and you're not sharing your location from your iPhone. So you can use that for your iPhone, and then the other one goes on your Mac. So if you're dealing with people in other time zones, Hoverly is a app that you can add as many time zones as you need, which actually the reality is as many time zones as will fit in your menu bar. And it also features a time travel slider, so you can organize meetings and know what time it is where your distant friend or colleague is located. So let's go back to the Finder and get rid of this pesky window that wants to appear all the time, and zoom in. And now we're going to use hidden to unhide this and go over here. And this is Hoverly. So you can see I've got Berlin, I've got New York, I've got Sydney, Australia. Now this is the compact mode. In the non-compact mode, it spells these out and takes up a lot of room. So to make adjustments to Hoverly, you just click on one of these and you get a window. So I can add additional locations. And here is the time travel scheduler. So now say that I want to do a meeting at 1 o'clock. So we'll get it over here to 1 o'clock. There we go. So now I know it's 9 p.m. in Berlin, it's 3 in the afternoon in New York, and 7 in the morning in Sydney. So let's see what else we might want to do. Let's say we want to do an 8 o'clock meeting. So now we know it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon in Berlin, 10 o'clock in New York, but it's 2 o'clock in Sydney, so that's not very convenient. So if we zoom out a little bit here, you can see some of the options. I can turn off 24-hour time. I can turn off the compact view, and I can check for an update. So that is hourly, and I click up here, it disappears. So very useful for dealing with people in different time zones. And don't forget the time travel slider. Now we come to Pearl. So Pearl lets you see yourself before others see you. So when you're getting ready to go on to a video conference like Zoom or FaceTime, you can quickly check what you look like on the camera. It's in the menu bar. Now I know you can do this in Zoom, but it's like 5 or 6 different steps to get to where you can see it in Zoom. So it's a little black circle that appears in your menu bar. So let's go to the Find. I don't think it's going to show up here on top. No. So we're going to go to the Finder again. Get rid of this guy. And so if we zoom in, it's this little icon right here, little black circle, and there I am. So I can move this around. I can make it bigger or smaller. And if you have more than one camera, you could even select a different camera. So that is Pearl. And then you to dismiss it, you just click back up in the menu bar. And we're going to give it a 5-star rating because it just works. We're not going to write a review right now. So it looks like I was not in the Finder, so we're going to try that again. Now I'm in the Finder. And here's Pearl. And make it bigger, move it around. Switch cameras. And that's Pearl. And you click on the menu bar icon to get rid of it. Okay. So in my search for free apps, I did come across some free clipboard managers. However, we did cover clipboard managers in GoFor Lunch on August 29th of this year. So if you want to look at a free clipboard manager, you can go back to our YouTube channel, the link for which is in the GoFor Gazette, and search for clipboard and you'll find that program. So one that I should have thought of by myself, but I discovered in my research is LibreOffice. So LibreOffice is compatible with all of the Microsoft file types. So if you've been using Microsoft Office and you're tired of paying Microsoft for the Office 365 subscription every year, then you could go to LibreOffice. You can open all your existing Microsoft Office files, your Word files, your Excel files, your PowerPoint files, and you can save them in the Microsoft file format. And what you get is Writer, which is the word processor, Calc, which is the spreadsheet, Draw, which Microsoft Office doesn't even have a Draw program for diagramming, Base is the database, a math formula editor, and Charts. So it's a free program. It's what they call open source, which means different people can work on it, but it all gets approved by the central developers and make sure that it works. So it's been around for a long time. It has good reviews. So LibreOffice as an alternative to Microsoft Office Suite. So this is pronounced INA, I think. It's similar to VLC, which you may be familiar with, which is these both are media players, but INA is billing itself as a modern media player. It has a nicer, more Mac-like interface than VLC. So it will play almost any media file. So what happens, I get calls, people say, well, my friend mailed me this video and I can't play it. So when you have INA on your Mac, it will handle almost any media file. And what happens is that your friend is on Windows and they're sending you a file that's not native on the Mac. So this works on video and audio files. And the way it works is it's an app, and you would just open here. You would probably go to your download folder and choose that video file that you haven't been able to open, and Ina should open it for you. So one more thing called one thing. So one thing does one thing, and that is it puts an important task in your menu bar. So it could be a task, an inspirational quote, or a goal. They'd have to be kind of short to fit there, especially on a MacBook. So let's see how that works. We're going to go to the Finder, and we're going to zoom in and click on Hidden and go all the way over to the left, and here's one thing. So what I had put in one thing is get a Go for Lunch topic for next week. So if I click on that, then I can change it. So let's say I want to remind myself to hydrate, drink enough water. So I can click on the three dots here, the ellipse. I can go to Settings. Then I get this window here, which allows me to do a shortcut. I can alter the text appearance. I can alter the width, the text size, the text width. So you might want to use condensed to save room. I can make it bold, and I can give it a color. So let's make it red. And then I also have vertical text alignment down here, and I can improve the legibility of links. So just does one thing, just something there to remind you. Now when I want to finish editing, I hit this little arrow right here, and now when I go back into one thing, after I unhide my menu bar, there's hydrate in red. So that brings us to questions. If you haven't already, please type your question or your comment in the YouTube section. And do me a favor, share the GoFor Gazette with other Apple users, just one person this week. And that GoFor Gazette comes to you every Monday morning at 7 o'clock. If you're not receiving it, just drop me an email and we'll put you on the mailing list. And if you haven't already subscribed and rung the little bell to be notified, please do that. So here we are. I hope you found at least one of those free apps that will help your workflow. Thank you for the 2 thumbs ups. And if you have any ideas of things you'd like me to cover in the future, my contact information will be coming up here shortly. You can email me or call me, and I'd be glad to dig into it and do a presentation on something that you want to learn more about. And of course, that helps me learn. The best way to learn is to teach, somebody once said. So I don't see any comments. So we will see you next week, next Tuesday at high noon for another Go for Lunch. Have a great rest of your week.